Hey everybody, this is Matthew Namath with Shutterstock.com, and today we are looking at the Tidal pack from RocketStock. Tidal is a pack containing 100 expertly animated transitions, which can help improve your travel video, highlight reel, or anything else that needs a serious injection of splashy fun. Tidal is compatible with every major nonlinear editing system out there, but today we're going to be looking at using Tidal in Adobe After Effects, Adobe Premiere, and Final Cut Pro. So let's dive in. You see what I did there? Looking at Adobe After Effects, I have two pieces of stock footage I'd like to use to demonstrate how to use Tidal transitions in this piece of software. First, we have this adorable looking pig swimming around in the ocean. I don't know how he got there. I don't want to know. I just want to poke him in the nose. And then we have these dolphins swimming around under the water. And what are dolphins if not just pigs that spend even more time underwater? Look at their nose. Come on, it's true. Dolphins are just pigs. Fact. Anyway, we need some sort of cool transition between these two, and I think we're going to find what we're looking for in the Tidal pack. Tidal has like 100 transitions. It's bananas. I already went through and selected one I liked, and it was this guy, this kind of twirly, splashy water one. I think that's going to look pretty funky. So why don't we drag that onto our timeline above our clips right at the edit point, and let's just hit play and see what happens. Swimming. We just have this white thing. If we actually look at the transition from Tidal, we can see what it is. It's not a black and white video clip, but it's a white video clip with a transparent background. That means this clip has an alpha channel, and we can use it to pull a matte from these video files. So I'm going to set up the transition right where I want it, and then on the layer below, I'm going to make sure that I can see track matte. You may have to hit this toggle switches and mode button. And under track matte, I'm going to select alpha matte. And now what you can see is that this video layer is drawing alpha information from the transition layer about where it should show itself. You're basically punching a hole through the video so that it shows only where you want it. But things are not that simple. Watch what happens when we get to the end of the transition. Oh, it goes back to the pig. Why did it go back to the pig? Well, these transitions are only so long. You can see that this transition ends right here, and then we're back to the pig. If we turn on the transition, the problem becomes much more apparent. There you go. I'm going to shy it again just so that we can see the layer that it's providing a track matte for. How can we do this? Well, there's two quick ways to do it. We can select the video layer of the pig, and we could, of the dolphins, and we could split this layer, turn off the track matte, and then move it back above the transition. And now what you'll see is that the video clip continues uninterrupted because we've cut it, and after the transition is done running, this clip is no longer having a track matte applied. This is a perfectly legitimate way to get around short track mattes, but it's not the way I prefer. Too many layers. Here's the way I would go about it. I would use the O key as a shortcut to get to the end of my transition. I would go to the beginning, O goes to the end, and then I would right-click on my transition layer, go to Time, and click Freeze on Last Frame. Look at that. Suddenly, this clip is of infinite duration, and when we play it, our transition works properly, and the clip doesn't drop out. What we've done is we've basically created a freeze frame on the last frame of the animation, and because the last frame was pure white, we no longer have to deal with the fact that the transition is too short. So that's a very simple way to use these transitions in Adobe After Effects. Let's jump over to Adobe Premiere and have a look at how we can use Tidal to spice up our video transitions there. Here we are in Adobe Premiere, and let's take a really quick look at how to use these Tidal transitions in this particular piece of software. I've selected two pieces of stock footage. We have, looks like maybe father-son surfboard team, which is also the name of my garage band, and a lady diving under the water. She is a little small, so let's just scale her up a little bit and not tell anybody we did that. Anyway, so we got father-son surfboard team, but I really like how the wave wipes past camera here. So I think that's going to be our transition point right there. And we want to match the motion of this lady kind of swimming that direction. So typical transitions in Adobe Premiere work like this, and you would get a crossfade between them. They're actually little sort of draggable handles. But to use these custom transitions, you actually put one layer on top of the other, and then we use a video effect provided by Adobe Premiere called track matte. So if I jump into the effects and I search for track, you'll see that under keying, there's a track mat key. If I drop track mat key on my video, not much happens because I need to select some video footage to be my track mat. It needs to be a file that I can pull either alpha information from or luminance information from. We're going to be using alpha information. So if I jump into liquid and grab this sideways wipe, that looks like that's going to work pretty well with our wave motion. So I'm going to grab that, drop it on top, and let's take a look at what it looks like. You can see it's also too big in 4K, so I'm going to scale it down, and now you can see perfect. Wipes across, timing's great. But how do we get this to wipe on our diving woman? Well, the first thing I noticed is that our transition is running the wrong way. So I'm going to go over to Effects, and I'm going to search for Horizontal Flip, drag it onto our footage, and you can see now our transition is running the other way with the wave that we want to use. Next, I'm going to go back to our footage of the woman. I'm going to go to Effects Controls, and under Track Mat, I'm going to select Video 3. As you can see, our footage is on Video 2, but the track mat's on Video 3. So if I select Video 3, suddenly our footage with the effect is drawing a track mat from Video 3, and our mat wipes the footage beautifully. I think I can make this a little nicer. I'm just going to delay the transition a little bit, and I'm going to speed up our lady diving a tad. And let's take a look at how this works. I neglected to trim the length of that. My apologies. Pretty swanky if I do say so myself. Makes you want to go throw on some trunks and sit in my bathtub. All right, let's take a look at how we can use Tidal assets over in Final Cut Pro. All right, everybody, last but not least, we're going to take a look at Final Cut Pro. One of the nice things I'll always say about Final Cut Pro, and it's one of the few things I will, is that their media browser is excellent, and the ability to scrub through footage like this full screen, love it. Anyway, we have some awesome stock footage today. We've got this footage of this lady popping out of the water. I think that might be the Amalfi Coast, but it's certainly nicer than where I am now. And then we're going to come full circle back to our piggy footage. What I like about both these clips is they both share this waterline effect, and I think we can come up with a neat transition between the two of them. So we're going to look at how to apply track mats in Final Cut Pro. I had a look through some of these before I started recording, and I thought that this one was actually going to work really, really nicely with these two waterline shots. So let's give that a try. I'm going to drag it onto the timeline, right above where I think I'm going to want the transition. We have she bursts out of the water, and then the camera ducks back underwater, which seems like a really, really nice place to use this. Probably a little bit earlier. Yeah, come up, and then it'll reveal our pig. So the way that track mats work in Final Cut Pro is instead of an effect like in Adobe Premiere that I pull over, it's actually a blending mode. So I want to select my track mat clip, not the clip that I want to apply it to, and I want to go up to the compositing options, and under blend mode, select Stencil Alpha. Where did everything go? Well, you'll see that actually it's working beautifully on the pig clip, but our clip of the lady has disappeared as soon as the track mat begins. That's because this track mat is stenciling alpha all the way down the stack and not just to one layer. This is incredibly easy to rectify. Just select both clips and select new compound clip, and we'll call it pig wave transition. Hey, and our lady's come back, and she wipes nicely under the water to the pig. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at the Tidal pack from Shutterstock.com. That's it for me. I hope you found that this quick look at the Tidal pack was useful and that you got ways you can use this awesome product in your projects. You can find other great VFX packs and tutorials like this one at Shutterstock.com, and we'll be there to help you get the most out of them. For now, this is Matthew Damon, putting on a bathing suit and jumping in the pool. See you next time.